Crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone. Watch me celebrate. I'm cocky. I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Put on the gas. I will not crash.
Trouble keeping up with the Joneses? It's the coach. This is the 2019 season on EA Sports. Straight ahead, Aaron Jones, no picnic a week ago. He's looking for another big game. It'll be the Green Bay Packers taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are
From up top, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles Davis, as always, with me as well. CD, defenses better be on their toes in this one because we got two quarterbacks who love to throw the football, and they throw it very well.
Over 4,000 yards each in the previous season. So what you're saying is, if you're a defender, hope you prepared properly. Hydrated, stretched, be on your toes, as you said, because the ball's coming your way.
The Packer offense led by number 12, Aaron Rodgers. And the Pack in an unfamiliar position this year. They have not made the playoffs for 2 years running. 6-9-1 a year ago, and now with a new head coach in Matt LaFleur. No guarantee, certainly, that they'll play meaningful football in January this year. They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Quickly now, here's a look at the Green Bay offense.
Durable and dependable, but also elite is left tackle David Bakhtiari. He's only missed 6 games in his NFL career. He protects Aaron Rodgers' blind side, and he does it so well. In 2018, named first-team All-Pro for the first time in his career.
From the 30 on second down, Rodgers looking deep for Adams. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. And this unit, very tough to throw against, currently second best in the NFL.
And since this is such a good unit at covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 13 yards, first down, Packers. Now a first down carry by Jones. The numbers on the ground for Jones last week. 17 carries, 76 yards.
And a rushing title is definitely within sight, so the excitement on the offensive side of the football, I mean, they're bouncing off the walls wanting to get out there, but they also understand that they're going to face some really stacked defenses down the stretch because they don't want it to happen at their expense.
From just shy of midfield, Rodgers, and that's complete to Adams. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 41-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 41. Now it's Rodgers, and he whips that one incomplete there. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Now Rodgers throwing again. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 30.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 10 more there and another first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be 2nd and goal. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
They'll try to run it in with Jones. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that'll make it 3rd and goal. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Buying time to his left. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Xavier Rhodes, the cornerback, there in coverage. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
But your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. Well, so much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here. If you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
3rd and short yardage, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 43. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. A gain of 6 there on 1st. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
A gain there of 21 yards. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. The Packers with the football here to begin the second quarter. Now Rodgers as they've got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Packers have taken the lead. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the lead is now 10-3. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Cousins gives way to Cook. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Darnell Savage, the rookie from Maryland. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Extra point try now for Crosby. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Yeah, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Rudolph on the receiving end from Cousins. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draw.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Preston Smith in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Jamal Williams making his way back onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the second quarter. Now on 2nd and 13, Rodgers. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
That's it, baby. We gon' work.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
It's caught here by Adams. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Open man is Allison, complete. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. Rodgers to Allison, good for a Green Bay first down. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get them about 5 yards. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 11 yards there, first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Rodgers on target to Valdez-Scantling. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York office a holiday card. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 22-yard line. Rodgers will bring him up to the line, 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd down. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Got a man. That's Allison. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
On 2nd down now. It's Jones, and a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the 1st half. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Still a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
And this one to Treadwell, complete. And with just 1 second remaining in the 1st half, they'll call the timeout. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Watch that in. Watch that in. That is right. That is right.
Final play of the half, Cousins. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the 3rd quarter. Let me spit this out. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
And let's pin the mirror.
Cousins. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
He completes it to Treadwell. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 2nd down, Williams. Stopped up shy of the 45 despite some pretty powerful running. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And Adams has it complete. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the 3rd quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
5 plays there on that drive. And the result, a Green Bay score. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. They'll run on 1st down. It's Cook. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Now Cousins. It's caught by Treadwell. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 41-yard line. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
A first run for the backup, Abdullah. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
He'll give up 6 yards there on the loss, and it'll bring up 4th down.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They begin the drive with Williams. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have a few men in the box there.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Again, it's Jones. The tackle goes there to Linval Joseph.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards there, first down Vikings. Cousins now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Again, it's Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. Cousins again. And this is Cook with a grab. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers open here is Allison. That's complete. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Adams hauling it in from Rodgers. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards on the play. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll go again to Jones. And he's going to be stopped just short of the 1st down marker at the Vikings' 29.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. To throw is Cousins. He'll find Taylor. That's complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Cousins. It's caught by Treadwell. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. As this one moves towards its conclusion, another incomplete pass there. Thoughts on the secondary? I mean, seem to be pretty effective in this one.
Yeah, I thought that they've been absolutely outstanding. I mean, their job is to prevent touchdowns, and not a single touchdown's going on the board against them. Of course, they want to make it a total shutout, but hey, if you don't give up touchdowns, you got a heck of a chance to win.
Marching back onto the field now, Devontae Adams and company getting set to go. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Jones. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
18. Check 55 to Mike. Quit talking about it and bring it.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you said baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time, and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that, and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for the Packers,